Welcome to Straight Candid.
Episode 23
with Syd and Soph.
All
right, that was good.
Let's hear it one more time.
Welcome to Straight Candid.
Episode 23 with Syd
and Soph.
One more.
Welcome to Straight Candid.
Episode 23 with Syd
and Soph.
Yay!
That was good. I bet you're wondering who the hell is talking right now. That would be our mothers, okay?
Our dearest mothers.
Our dearest little chickens. Oh, and by the way, we are recording right now. This is it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so hold the microphones up.
So we're live.
We are live. You guys did good.
That was cute.
We thought we were just practicing.
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh my God. Well, we were excited to have you. This is so cute that they're here. We've been wanting to do this. We thought it would be so fun because honestly, sometimes when we describe our podcast, we say this is something that we're like helping girls and guys in their 20s and 30s that maybe don't want to ask their parents this, but their parents definitely know these things. You know what I mean? That's kind of how we preface it. And so we thought we could actually ask our moms some questions that listeners have sent in and some things that we want to ask you that might be a little real and that might be hilarious all in one, but that's what Keeping It Candid's all about.
Hilarious.
Hilarious.
I love this. They got their wine out and everything too.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's just talk about like what's going on right now. We got some red wine. We have Susan, which is Syd's mom, wearing these cheetah high heels, like absolutely killing it. Oh, she shows it. Yep.
Ooh, fancy.
How old are you?
I'm 61.
You're like, and that just blows my mind because you guys, she looks like she's like 40.
Thank
Probably
you
30.
very much.
Actually, 30.
You're a cutie little tootie
I could
pants.
pass for 30.
Yeah, you could.
And there's my mom right there. Just kidding.
Whatever.
No, I'm kidding, Mom.
You guys look so freaking young.
My mom, can we hold up your shoes right now too? Hey,
oh, she's got the Air Force Ones on. That is amazing.
Mom, can you explain why you have Air Force Ones?
Oh, because Sophie told me I had to get the chunky white tennis shoes to be in.
That is so classic Sophie. She's got like 400 pairs.
Like,
that's hilarious.
And I had to get wide leg jeans. No more skinny jeans. And chunky white shoes.
Yeah, well, you're in style, let me tell you.
Yeah, okay.
God
Good.
dang it.
How old are you, Mom?
57.
Okay.
You guys look so damn good. Mm-hmm. We need your guys' skincare routines. People are going to be bugging us for it now. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Wait, quick tell us. Let's hear it. What do you guys do for skincare?
Even just a brand that you use that you're like, oh yeah.
I just use Retin-A every other day.
Yes, Mom. We like that.
Okay. Mom?
I think it's important to have clean skin, and I use Shiseido for clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Shiseido. It's a Japanese
Shiseido.
brand.
Oh.
It's really good stuff. Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
Cool.
you will.
Yeah.
Our dads are also lingering. They're not here in the room, but they are lingering around the building somewhere.
Always.
My dad.
I'm honestly really afraid for when my dad just strolls in and we're talking about menopause.
I know, or something crazy. My dad, he just posted on my Facebook the other day for my birthday, and he was like, congrats to Syd on the top charts. And then he goes, although sometimes I have to mute it or turn the podcast off, I'm really proud of her, dad ears or something like that on Facebook, on his wall. I'm like, Dad.
I saw that. But
God
speaking of that, we'll ask you guys this question too. So do you listen to the podcast? Do you cover your ears? Like, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the podcast? Have you listened?
Well, I haven't listened to all of them, but I have listened. I would have to say at first, I was like, oh, that's my daughter.
Thank God
you
you
be
said
saying
that.
I did the same thing.
It's like, oh no.
But no, I think, I've enjoyed them. The ones I've listened to, I have. And it just, kudos to you guys for just being straight and candid.
Oh, Mom.
Yeah, nice one.
Boom.
Good one. She was boom. That's great.
Yeah, same reaction. I mean, I've listened to some.
Yep.
And overall, they're just great. I can see why why your age group loves your podcast, because what you have to offer. But there are some things that's just like, oh my God.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
No.
Did she just say that?
I'm sorry. That's totally me.
Well, that's
sorry.
Sydney.
All I knew is I was glad everyone knew that you were reading it and it was somebody else's story.
Oh, the skid mark one. You're
not
totally talking about the skid
yours.
mark one. Well, guess what? I've shared probably like 4 poop stories on here because honestly,
Yeah.
it's part of my identity at this point.
It is. It is. I'm used to
Mom,
those.
see?
Okay, see?
I can.
I'm not kidding.
A story when she was just a baby. She had this beautiful dress on. I was so proud of the dress. Hot pink. Kind of expensive. I think I bought it at the Galleria somewhere. And didn't even get through the wedding, and she just
Shit all over it.
all over.
Since day one. Syd's
Nothing new here.
Yeah. But so I'm
still
used to
shitting
that.
her pants when she's 23.
24 now. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going up the
Yeah,
ladder.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Also, you guys, we do have 4 people in the room. We have 4 mics, so just bear with us. We'll try to all, give each other the space to talk and not interrupt. But other than that, that's all we got. So we're going to start off this episode with hashtag Straight Canon Moments. You guys have probably heard, if you've listened, you've probably heard of our hashtag Straight Canon Moments that Syd and I do weekly, but we're flipping it on you guys this week. So you're going to tell us your hashtag Straight Canon Moment. So Mother Dear, why don't you start?
You're going to start with me.
Your
Do you remember it?
hashtag Straight Canon Moment.
Oh, yes. From just this last week, something that's happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
if you want.
Okay.
Or farther
Okay.
back.
Okay. Well, it was Easter this last weekend, which we really only celebrate the fact that it's a Easter bunny. We don't celebrate anything else.
It's kind of the same as us.
We don't say, things like he has risen.
No,
or
actually,
anything like that.
mom, don't lie, because I woke up on Easter.
We were being funny.
My mom looks me dead in the eye and she goes with a straight face, "He has risen." And to me, this was
just being funny.
you guys. I'm sorry if you're religious, like good for you. I
Yeah.
hope you enjoyed the day.
Yeah, it's beautiful,
But for
but-
our family, that's not what we celebrate, and I just died laughing. Okay, but that's not your hashtag Straight Canon Moment. Keep going.
So we thought it would be funny to have all the kids were all home, which is was a big. We planned this because it's the last time in our house because we sold our house. But
Yay.
so I thought it'd be fun to hide 4 golden eggs because we always had Easter egg hunts when they were little, and so it was a beautiful day. So Rod hid them all outside, and Sophie was one of the first ones up. Right?
Yeah.
Were you the first one? And so she goes out spying them. And what does she do? She goes and she sees an egg and she goes and gets it before everybody else. And so I had to discipline her like a little 6-year-old and say, you have to put that egg back and wait for your brother and sister.
Yeah.
Of course. That's amazing.
So your Straight Canon Moment was disciplining your 25-year-old daughter for
Yes.
Easter hunting too
For-
early?
yes.
For getting that egg too early, you silly little goofer.
Yes, and she did. I could see the guilt in her face, and she knew she was wrong, so she wouldn't put it back.
But you are a little sneaker. I can totally
Well,
see you doing
Yeah,
that.
I just took a little
Yeah.
peek and I saw one right away.
Yeah.
You say peek, and I say, what's that thing that I say? What's that email thing that I always say? You say peek, and I always say
Ping.
Ping. Yeah, like ping me. I'll ping you later. I'll ping you
Yeah.
later. I have an issue. It doesn't matter. I just say it way too often. Anyway.
well, now I gotta explain it
Okay,
a little
fine.
bit. So if you're like any sort of 9-to-5 job, a lot of the communication system is on Slack, which is like a messaging app.
Right.
And our age group is like, "Hey, I'll text you later." Like, "Yeah, I'll hit you up." Syd always says, "Hey, I'll ping you," and that's the terms that you use in your 9-to-5 job
Professional.
on Slack. And I'm like, "Hey, yeah, talk to you later, bro." Like, hit you up, and Syd's like, "All right, I'll ping you."
Well, whatever. Never close the workbook, okay?
Right.
Mom, what's your Straight Canon moment?
Well, speaking of work and jobs and 9 to 5.
Oh, I
and,
love that transition.
Yeah, good job. She's a natural.
I started a new job recently, and I've always been in a pretty conservative industry, insurance, risk management, and broke out of that. And, it's at my age, you have to start being who you are and, not really caring.
Yeah, making
Yeah.
the day-to-day fun.
Exactly.
should've done
Making
that from
it
the
fun.
beginning.
And humor is my deal. That's where I think Sydney
has
got hers, and but I kind of lost it for a while.
No, you don't. All right.
So a guy in the office, manager, I would come in his office and to talk to him, ask him something, and he'd always say, "You're so quiet." I'd get to his desk and I'd scare him, because he didn't even know I
so
walked in his
quiet.
office. I'm so quiet. So I thought, So one day, and we kind of have a little banter about it, and so one day I got on my hands and knees outside of his door because I wanted to see how far I could get in his office without him seeing me. Now, keep in mind, there's other people in the office, a financial group, so
Very
not
serious.
too conservative. And I'm thinking, I hope they don't see me crawling on the floor. But I actually got pretty far, halfway in, but I was kind of trying not to laugh. And he kind of yelled, and I think he swore at me.
Mom's on her
So-
hands and knees and probably her little stilettos too. God.
But he also tried it with me as well. But I felt the breeze come through my door when
Oh
he
my
Oh,
God.
you
kind of
knew.
cracked it open. So
Yeah,
I
he's not
knew.
good at
That
it.
is hilarious.
Yeah, so.
Mom, that's so funny.
I
You guys
could
are funny.
definitely see Syd doing that.
Oh yeah, I would do it in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
I feel like have you done that at work yet?
I haven't crawled anywhere yet, no. But I definitely am thinking about it. I've
Yeah.
thought about different things like that.
Okay.
I do like creeping up on people. I think it's kind of
Yeah.
fun.
It's on
Yeah.
your to-do list.
Wait, you guys are funny. What were you like when you were our age? I want to know. We weren't around. We were just a twinkle in your eyes, my mom would say.
Yes.
I was, I often say I was a lot like you,
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean,
yet I'm your
so
least favorite child. How does that work?
I don't know. How does that work?
She just admitted it!
No. This is the middle child. She always thinks she's the least favorite, but that's not true.
Okay. All right. You're a
But
mini
you're
me.
the most like me.
Yeah.
And I think all the kids would agree with that.
What do you mean exactly?
Personality wise.
Not shy.
Yeah.
Says what you think.
Enjoys socializing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sometimes socializing feeds you too much and you get too energized and
Yes.
people have to
And
tell
people
you
have to kind of
calm you down.
Calm you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom,
Yep.
my mom,
funny.
That is so
should
Sophie
hear her.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get calmed down a lot. Same.
Yeah. I mean, well, some people in social situation, it drains their energy, but
Oh.
for someone like you and me, it energizes us. So
Yep.
you just kind of don't
Keep
know
going.
when to.
Don't
Yeah.
know when to
oh yeah.
stop.
But just as you get older, you learn how to control. that.
Okay. That's good to know.
But then when you have a little wine, you forget again.
You forget again.
I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom, what were you like?
Well, let's see. I got married the first time at 24.
Oh, my.
But
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
No, I was 23. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah, I
gosh.
mean,
Yeah.
that's how old you were back then.
That was normal.
It was so young.
It was
It
normal.
my high school sweetheart.
I can't
Oh,
even imagine
know.
dating anyone right now.
But I would have to say, and just how we're alike. Sydney's very independent, and
Yeah.
I've always
Yeah.
been very independent. So yeah, I think we kind of went through sort of our wild streaks early on, kind of before a lot of other
Matured,
people
right?
matured early on, and
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, because you grew up in a farm town on a farm. She was the youngest. And your parents were like at the fourth child, they're like, whatever,
they
who
were
cares,
wore out.
whatever.
They were tired.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
you
So,
came in
yeah.
at 4. I didn't even hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she,
Yeah.
who cares?
I was number 5. Yeah.
You could kind of like, you were wild young. You could drink out there when you were really young. Like you were,
Oh,
you
yeah.
could do all that. And I think I did the same. I think I did all the crazy things when I was honestly like 16 to
Yes.
20. And now I'm just kind of not over it. I definitely would love to have a good time with my girlfriends, but I just don't, it's not in my
Yeah.
life path anymore.
I remember when I met you, I was like just shocked by like how you weren't going out every weekend and everything. Because when I was 22, I was like still in that phase, and I almost feel like
And that's
Yeah.
how you were also like maybe. I mean, you were very slow at maturing.
yeah,
Just
right.
just saying. Physically.
Yeah, physically
Yeah.
and I
and
guess,
then all, that ties in with mentally too,
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah, puberty.
yeah. So exactly. So we won't talk about the age you were when you finally got your period.
Oh, well,
but
I've already talked about that in the
it was
podcast.
very old.
Yeah.
So
Wait, how old was it again? I forget.
Senior year of high school.
So 18.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
so
Yeah.
that just tells you how really where she was at.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I was the same. So,
Did you have a wild phase?
Not really.
Yeah. What was your nickname in college?
Did I have a nickname? I didn't
Come
have a
on,
nickname.
think of it. Come on.
I
Mom.
did not have a nickname.
One beer Amy.
Oh, no, 2 beer Amy.
Oh, 2 beer. I was wondering, 2
well.
beer Amy.
Come on,
2
I
beers.
I could handle more than one.
She would get a little tipsy after 2 beers.
Oh, see, my mom, we call her funny after one because she gets funny after 1 glass of wine. That's what my dad always says.
well.
Funny after one.
I can't wait for you to finish that drink.
I better have a drink.
Oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. Okay, if you didn't have kids, where do you think you'd be right?
Ooh, that's a good question. I didn't even know that we had that one in there.
Boy,
Right at this moment.
That's tough. You didn't tell me that one.
Some of them I thought that you could like think about. You know, would you be on this couch? Would you be somewhere tropical? Would you be?
What would
I
your
don't
life be
know.
like without us?
Would you be in rehab? Would you? Oh my god! I don't know.
Wow. Well, I think I maybe would be retired already.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I probably would have put away
Not that we-
the hockey.
Would change anything, right? Yeah.
No,
but
I would
yeah.
never.
Right. Right. Yeah. But yeah, you're right with that.
And probably would have a lot more countries that I've traveled under my belt.
Yeah.
Yep, I would
I
definitely
feel
have traveled
like,
more.
ooh, sounds a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And, I probably would own my own business. I would probably be a little more independent than I am, but because I, stayed home and raised you kids and
Yeah.
yeah.
That
Life
was
looks
just
different.
that was just a nicer way to
That's just-
ask, like, if you didn't have kids, what would you like to
yeah,
do?
exactly. Where would your freedoms
yeah.
be?
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, it sounds very
I mean,
convincing.
I had my opportunity. I did own the business.
Yeah,
I owned a
true.
business for 7 years. And so I did that,
Yeah.
but it is more difficult with 3 kids,
Yeah, I just
So-
think timing is different.
Yeah.
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 You know,
Yeah.
you hopefully do the things that you want to do, but it's just in a different time.
Yeah.
You have to adjust. You have to kind of
Yeah.
wait.
You just have to adjust the time frame
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
things.
because like I go through every day. I'm like convinced that I want to be single and never have kids and just live independently for the rest of my life. And then sometimes I think about like me and like your relationship with me and how like
Right, you'd
close
miss
we
that.
are. And I would
Right.
I
Yeah.
would want that with
Yeah.
someone too. So if someone were in between, wanting to have kids or not wanting to have kids, what would you guys say? This is so funny because they're just a little slower than Sid and I's energy.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be quiet.
Sid
I'm
and I
like,
Try, you're
oh
forcing
yeah,
yourself
I'm
to be
trying
quiet.
because I
Sid
yell.
and I like bounce back and forth like blah 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 blah. And now
And I'm
we
like,
got,
and on another note,
yeah,
I'm like,
I mean,
Yeah.
I think you just know. I mean, at some
Yeah.
point, you make the leap, and that's like with anything,
If I was never ready, so-called ready to have a baby, and I was older when I had Sydney.
yeah, 37.
Yeah, and so you just do it. But I knew I always wanted children, and it would have been awful if I wouldn't have been able to. I probably would have. Maybe I would have adopted. I don't know. And then Sydney was really the one that made the determination when her sister would come along because she was
Wait,
like,
really?
I want a sibling.
Oh, cute.
Okay.
No. Okay, I guess so.
So we have
Yeah.
another one. But after the first,
The
I
first
thought, I'm
one's the
not.
biggest,
oh,
yeah.
I thought, I'm not doing this again. That sucks.
I'm right.
Oh my gosh. But you kind of forget.
You do. And
And then you're like, well, what's another one?
Oh, yeah. So
Do you have something to say?
no.
Okay.
But I used to I was gonna say I used to beg my mom to adopt for Christmas a little child. Taylor and I would beg and we'd write to Santa, please get my mom to adopt another
one?
baby. We specifically said Africa. I don't really know why. I think that's just we just thought we wanted a little I don't know. We didn't know anything. We just were we knew that our friends had adopted little
she
kids from
didn't do it
Africa.
for you?
And we
Oh
were
my
yeah,
gosh.
we were well, could you adopt one? What kids just say the weirdest things
Yeah.
though. From Africa. Very specific. What?
well, what's
Random.
odd is I did the same thing as a child.
Oh,
I
funny.
wanted my mom to adopt from another country.
Yeah, I just wanted them to be different than us,
Yeah.
I think, is what
I wanted that too, but you had us do pen pals.
That's right.
Oh, cute though.
Yep.
But I did want you to adopt a monkey. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, jeez.
I wanted
Oh,
a
yeah.
monkey.
There's so much similarity.
What?
Oh, I wanted a monkey so
Gary-
bad.
Garrett
You wanted
still
a
does.
monkey. You're
I
crazy.
just wanted a little monkey.
You're already a monkey.
crawling on me.
You just wanted a friend.
I didn't have friends. I'm like, Mom, get a monkey.
Okay, well, we know how she's turned out, but
Yeah.
what is your...
I want a monkey friend.
Yeah, seriously. Well, we're crazy. We know that. You guys listen to our podcast. How do you actually think that we turned out? From a mother's perspective, like for real.
Are you
asking
happy?
for real?
Are you happy with the way I turned out?
You're still evolving, actually.
Ooh, I like
I
that.
think.
Oh.
Don't you really think?
Oh, for sure.
They're still
Yeah.
very early in their evolution. Yeah.
Into our
Evolution. It sounds like I'm in like anthropology class again.
Speaking of monkeys,
I think Sydney's surpassed everything I've, even thought about. And I don't think I've ever had expectations of, oh, I think she should do this or she should do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever thought that way. But I'm amazed at...
Mom.
I don't want to cry.
I'm gonna cry.
No, I'm just amazed
Yeah.
at the woman she's become.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mom. Thank you.
Ditto. I mean, the thought of what Sophie's doing with this podcast alone, let alone everything else. Yeah.
We wouldn't be doing
Yeah.
it without you two.
Yeah.
That's for freaking sure.
Yeah.
And giving us kind of
Yeah.
the opportunity to even be here and living in Minneapolis
And support us.
Mm-hmm.
A huge piece of this though the reason we wanted you guys to come on is because we take for granted, I think, the fact that we have a good relationship with our moms, where our moms are our best friends, because that's not common. A lot of people don't have that, and that's kind of why we're here being candid with you guys, and we wanted you to sit here with us, because not only did we come from you, we're literally a straight prodigy of you guys, but people don't have what we have. And that's why we have these questions that we're going to kind of get into that are just like things that people wanted to ask a mother figure. They reached out and they were like, we want you to ask a mother figure about these things. So we have a handful of them.
Yep. So we're kind of going to alternate. I'll ask a question to you, and then she'll ask a question to you. If you guys have anything to add, feel free to jump in. I think...
Do you need to do like a warning, like we aren't experts?
You are moms.
It's trial and error.
No, all moms are experts because we're sitting here right now.
Didn't you get that manual? I burned mine.
Non-traditional.
So we wing it.
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
the way to do it.
That's the way to do it. And that's
We're winging it too.
We're winging it, and that's the point of this podcast, is like genuine and just being real and authentic.
That's why we're here.
And I will say we're gonna get into some fun, like dirty details a little bit later with some straight candid stories. But I want to kick it off right away with one of the question that you wrote about the moms.
Which one were you thinking of?
That one.
Oh, I know.
And it's a little more serious, but we'll get into some more fun questions.
So, Mom, this one's specific to you, but I actually learned it's also
okay.
specific to you as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a little more serious, but this is about loss. So my question actually was it like losing your mom so young, and what do you feel that took away from you about learning about being a mom?
Well, let's see. It was devastating,
Yeah.
first of all, because I had a great relationship with my mother as well. I mean, shopping and going having a drink when I got old enough, and so.
How old were you?
Well, I was Sydney's age.
Okay.
Yeah. So the loss was kind of before that. She, I found out later on in life that she kind of struggled with anxiety and mental health and stuff. And so there were lengths of times that she was gone when I was little that I don't remember that she wasn't around. So,
You don't know what you don't know, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And how it affected, I feel a loss, not just for myself, but for my kids.
Yeah.
Because she was really a cool person. And
Yeah.
so I talk about her a lot from the time the kids were little, and said, Grandma Sella, she was great. She did this, or she'd say that, or I'd sing a song that she used to sing. And, I'd say, well, who would say this? And they'd say, Grandma Sella, you know.
cute.
So
Yeah, it was really special.
yeah.
Yeah, we named our dog Sella too.
Yeah.
So our dog's name is Sella, Marcella, right now.
And what's really bizarre
Oh, this is the weirdest thing.
is, so I name her Sella. She's got dark brown eyes, as my mom did. And I find out Sella's birthday, it was the exact same day as my mother.
Just like weird little
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh my-
after the
look
fact.
at my
After the
goosebumps.
fact.
She got goose after the fact.
Yeah.
After we named her already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Your,
Isn't that
your
insane?
mom is in the dog.
I felt her hold my
Yeah.
hand
Her
before
soul.
and stuff. I felt her
Oh
hold my
my
hand in my
gosh.
dream or something like that, and I woken up. I know it's her because it wasn't malicious, but I was like, oh yeah, that was Marcella.
So how did your mom exactly die? Can I ask?
yeah, so she had acute leukemia,
Okay.
which acute leukemia comes on quickly. So from the time that we found out that she had leukemia till she passed was like 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so she wasn't sick.
So
very
she
long.
was
Wow.
she was had different things prior to that. They always said, oh, she's got leukemia or ammonia and pneumonia or whatever, and wasn't feeling well. But yeah, so it was quick in that sense.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, mom.
Yeah.
How did you? Yeah, I want to kind of ask you the
So,
same thing. 'cause
You know,
Soph-
I was quite a bit younger when I lost my mom. I was 13,
Oh man, too.
and she was
Wow.
killed by a drunk driver.
Oh,
So a drunk driver hit her head on, and he had like 21 other drunk violations. But back then, they never took their driver's license away. It was like a slap on the hand, and off you go. So he was still on the road with a driver's license. So he was killed by a drunk. She was killed by a drunk driver.
Oh my gosh.
And but it's
Do you remember the day?
like it was
Can you
yesterday.
talk about it a little bit?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I was at school, and of all things, I had to walk from the middle school where I was at to a podiatrist because I had warts on my feet.
Okay, there's a straight kind of moment. Throwback.
There we go. And she was going to meet me at the podiatrist, but I could walk there because it was right across the street. And she didn't come. And finally, I get the receptionist said, "Someone called. They're going to come pick you up." And I'm like, "Well, who's going to pick me up?" And they said, "Oh, well, one of your brother's friends." And I was just like, "Why isn't my mom picking me up?" And so, yeah.
Wow, that's.
yeah. I'm sorry.
So then, yeah, I came home, and my dad got I remember waiting at home, and my dad got out of the station wagon and started walking up the front sidewalk, and I just saw him in tears.
Oh God.
And yeah, so it was over,
Wow.
So yeah, but it's funny. I don't get emotional about it anymore, and in a odd sort of way, I look at it in a positive way now because it made me who I am, and I think it made me appreciate having her because she was awesome. Also,
Yeah.
she was funny. She'd joke around. I mean, she had 5 kids at home. I was the youngest. I mean, she
Oh my
was just
gosh.
she was running around with her head cut off. But
Sounds like someone I know.
sounds like someone I know. But so I look at that and I try to take the positives out of it. And it's just such an odd thing to say, but it really is true. I look at it to say, okay, this just made me a stronger person.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So-
Yeah.
I'm also sorry for your loss too, because it's just, I can't imagine, like we're sitting here with our moms and I can't even imagine or think about it.
I think I would jump off a cliff.
I wouldn't be able to do it. It's horrible.
No, you wouldn't.
but
wouldn't.
You'd be surprised what inner part of you kicks in,
Yeah.
So
that
Yeah.
keeps you alive and keeps you moving. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's personal and that
Thank you.
stuff is hard.
So you do not tolerate drunk driving, correct?
no, I don't. Yeah.
I think our
Absolutely
age
not.
group is pretty good at that.
Yeah, we're pretty good about, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
maybe
guys
in
are
our
really good
circles,
about
but
it.
we're really good. We get mad at our friends if they're,
Yeah.
it's even like an idea or a thought in their mind
Well,
of
and
like
there's
you're going to drive.
Uber now and other
Yeah.
Yeah.
options.
You just shouldn't
don't
be.
need to.
No, you
So
shouldn't
this
be.
is your sign right now. If you're listening, do not get behind the wheel if you're drinking.
And if you're
Yeah.
debating it, it's an absolute no. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say
absolutely
about that.
no.
Yeah.
So if you want to ask one?
Yes, mother. What mistakes did you make as a parent? What wins did you have?
Well, lots of mistakes, and maybe lots of
See, like
wins.
I never saw any mistakes because I was like,
I didn't tell you when I made a mistake.
exactly. So
You kept it a secret.
give an example, because from my point of view, like, you know, you think your parents always know what's right
And they're
like,
perfect.
They're perfect. They're parenting correctly.
Well, I mean, this is kind of a general thing, but you know how your kids are all busy with activities and you got to get them places. I guess the mistake I made was is not to have that transition be more relaxing and smooth. I mean, it was always.
Oh my gosh, this
I
is
know, but it was always very stressful.
Oh my
And
gosh, it was.
I
yeah.
see. You know, I mean, she probably has horrible memories of me, like cramming them in the car. Get your shoes on. We gotta
That's
go.
all I know though
Yeah.
too. I feel like
You know,
Yeah. That's
I mean,
every
I
mom,
wish,
though.
I wish now hindsight that what's the big deal? You know,
Exactly.
I just wish I could have taken it more in stride.
I see. Yeah,
So-
I mean, I do remember being late to everything.
She thinks that she wasn't.
I would
Don't
lie
listen to her.
if I had
because she's late if she's not early.
no
Ooh.
because
When
was
she
Sid,
was-
am I ever early?
I would say no. I would say no.
But back, yeah.
I do remember lying. If the soccer banquet started at 6 p.m., I'd be
Oh,
like,
no.
we have to be there at 5 p.m.
Well, then I caught on to
Sharp.
that she was lying and knew that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I used to
Glad it
also
worked.
Figure an extra hour.
I used to also pretend that there would be like a bomb that was going to go off in the house when we were, just to be fun. I was a little,
imagination.
I was a littler at this point, but I'd be like,
God.
we have to get out of the house in 10 seconds, and or else we'd all die.
Psycho.
Okay, what about wins?
Wins. You know, I think just for just you specifically or all the kids?
Whatever.
I mean, I think you guys were all just great students, athletes, all around good people.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
That's a win for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were hardworking. You all worked very hard. So,
Very self-determined.
yes. Yeah.
I like that.
I'd agree with that with Sydney and her
Yeah.
sister as well.
Yeah. I like that. All right. Should we transition a little bit? Okay, Mom, this one's specific to you. So this one, you guys might not be able to chime in as much. This is more general, so you can touch on it however you want. What was it like getting a divorce? And did you know it was coming? And then I have kind of like a ladder to that, but
Well, it's never, I don't care what the circumstances are. It's never a good situation. Unless, of course, it's, you know, dire and you need to get out of a bad, you know,
Right, an
abusive
abusive,
relationship, which
right.
wasn't the case. Did I see it coming? Yes. You know, and it wasn't I don't make rash decisions.
No, I know
we
that.
Don't, you know,
You're
so
I know
can tell
that.
you guys are both well thought out.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
yeah. So it was something that was thought about for a long time and you know, talked about, and certainly not an easy thing. Probably the hardest thing was to tell you and your sister. That was, you know, heartbreaking. But I hope that the relationship your dad and I have now kind
Is
of
maybe better than what it would have been.
yeah, so
right?
Oh, for sure.
You know, we try to make it, you know, as normal and as easy as possible.
Yeah, I think, you know, people ask kind of like, oh, do you feel like you failed your kids by doing that? And the thing is, though, is I'm not even going to let you answer that question because the answer is no to me. Like people, I could have little T trauma. I really could. And I think from divorce, you know, it's common, but that doesn't mean it doesn't feel horrible. And it felt horrible at the time, but I had more focuses. I had to make sure Taylor was okay. I had to make sure you were okay. I had to know that my parents are happier separated. Why would they get separated in the first place? And move on and apply those learnings to real life. Like you can have little T trauma and you can let it write your own story and say like, well, my parents are divorced. I can't find anybody, or, you know, I can't feel that way. But it's like, you need to move on and take the learnings that you have and turn them into a better life for yourself.
That's just like, you know, your mother dying when you're young. You know, you decide how you want your fate to be, you know.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you don't never have to feel bad about that. You guys are best friends now anyway.
Thank
So
you.
yeah.
Yeah, we're very good friends.
Yeah.
He's coming to dinner with us after.
And he's
this.
hilarious, and he's absolutely witty as hell. And he
Yeah.
wears purple shirts and orange shoes and blue pants all together. And it's just, he's a colorful little mess.
And nobody will ever understand him like I do.
no, I know. So
Yeah.
true, Mom.
Right.
So freaking true. What's your question?
I love that. No, I just had something in mind and I was forgetting what I was going to say. Hold on.
Uh-oh. You're not even
Oh, you're not drinking wine. Yeah, that's what I was
What?
gonna say. You're not even sipping on any wine. You shouldn't be forgetting what you're saying.
right? Well, I was like really invested in that conversation because I
sorry.
think the divorce chat is a really good topic to have on here, just because you're definitely not the only kid that's been through this. Hi, Dad.
Oh, looky here.
Oh,
Dad number one is popping
Father
in.
number one has arrived.
Now we need the other one to come.
yeah.
Dad, just come say hello, how are you doing in the microphone real fast.
I love your
Come here.
satchel.
Yeah, thanks.
Cute.
It's called a merce.
He has a merce.
Satchel merce.
This is satchel.
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 Sorry, I shouldn't say merce.
Dad, quick say
Shouldn't-
hi.
Come on over, jump in. Just say hello. You will, because you're here. You know, we want to hear your voice.
Hello, nice to be here.
Oh God, that's a Sophie comment. I feel like.
Nice to be here. Make
Nice to be here.
make yourself at home, Dad. We'll be wrapping up.
Hey, thanks. This is my spot. You can
Yeah.
sit anywhere you'd like. We're just getting into our little questions.
Because rewinding to meeting you and Marty.
Oh yeah.
Well, first of all, when I met you was actually a more funny story, but both of you guys together, when Marty and your mom was over here, you guys were celebrating.
Oh my mom's birthday.
Yeah, your mom's
Yeah.
birthday. And I just saw the dynamic between you guys and I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like it was so cool seeing you and Marty interact and like just still taking the kids
We
out
got
for dinner.
lucky.
And yeah.
We got lucky.
But the first time I met you, do you remember this?
Was it working
Oh
out?
my God.
No, I was downstairs in Syd's room.
Sophie had taken a shower and she had not yet found a towel.
You were naked.
Susan walks in. I'm like, oh, hello. She's like, oh, you're not my daughter.
And not to mention, we're totally buzzed because we were at like a darty, and we were like, I'm like, whoa, sorry, my mom doesn't care. Don't worry. Like,
Yeah, you're like, oh, it's okay. I see that stuff all
I
the
see,
time.
naked kids. Friends
just
coming
another,
over.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
Just another day in the life.
Just another day, one of those.
Right.
All right, next question, Mother.
Oh.
Actually, I would like both of your takes on this question if you have anything to say. But what is your relationship with diet culture, food, societal standards of beauty? How did you ingrain this version of acceptance, like within your parenting or self-love?
I never even thought about it when raising you because I
Never thought about what?
diets or
Oh, okay.
whether you were skinny or fat or that was never part of our conversations. I mean, we fed you healthy food
But I guess my question is, how did you diet when I was a kid, and how did I know if you were like, because I grew up not thinking you were ever on a diet, or I didn't know anything about that, and
Well,
I thought that was a
that's
healthy.
good, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is good. And the culture right now is like diet. You have to be beautiful. Look at all these beautiful women all over social media. Like it's intense, and that self-love piece can go missed. So that's what she's referring to. I think.
Okay. So when I was younger, what I did, I never dieted myself either.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you answered the question because you didn't really talk about it when I was little, which is important, I think.
I mean,
Yeah.
one thing that did bother me when you were little, and even with Grace too, especially, I mean, I didn't like it when strangers would come up and say things like, oh, look how cute they are. She's so beautiful. And I didn't like those comments because, I don't know, that puts you in a box. I didn't like
Yeah.
that, people did that.
You're like, what about how fast she can do her 100 multiplication tests?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's
Yeah.
not just about, her looks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susan, what about you?
Well, I think we also ate healthy.
Yeah, we did.
And I made it a point to have meals as a family.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Didn't have a lot of junk food, sweets, that sort of thing. We were always a family of working out, though. Workout was a huge part of, and is a huge part of my lifestyle.
Where did you meet Dad?
I met her father at Northwest Racket.
A gym.
gym.
That is now like a lifetime.
Marty was a bodybuilder.
He was a
wasn't
bodybuilder, yeah.
And
back in
my
the day.
first thought when I saw him, I hadn't met him yet, was like, oh my God, his quads.
Those are some juicy quads.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
She goes, wow.
Yeah.
Those quads.
Yeah.
No, but how did you instill in me like to focus on self-love and not focus on all the chitter chatter around of
Surface level.
surface level BS that was going to be surrounding us as we grow up as women?
Yeah, you guys have it harder because of all the social media.
Yes, you do.
We obviously had it, but it was in magazines
Right.
and TV.
Yeah.
But and then you just kind of high school and kids,
Isn't
girls,
it kind
and
of
stuff.
by
but
example? As far as what
Yeah.
we did, your dad and I always exercised, and we,
Yeah.
joined.
And I think, like, I could talk about this topic for days because part of me is like, should you have like junk food in the house just to show that like there's not good foods and bad foods, and not talking about like only eating healthy, and me working out all the time and showing the kids like
we
you
didn't
have
even
to work
we
out.
didn't stress
and-
that these foods were healthy. That's
Yeah.
just what we ate.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that was
You
a
know.
good way to go about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, we're our own humans and we can develop eating disorders without,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't really matter. But
yeah.
there is you have to be a good role model as a mom for
And
that
I don't know
kind
if
of
Sydney
thing.
feels differently about that, but Sydney was always very athletic as well.
Yeah.
I always had a huge appetite.
Yeah, I eat a lot.
Still does.
I eat a lot. Yeah.
A healthy appetite. A healthy
But
appetite.
More so what I'm asking though, even outside of actual physical food, I'm asking like, how did you mentally support us for the world that was coming? That was intense
They're
and there's a
struggling
lot
with
of
this
comparison. Yes, I'm not talking about food as much as I want to be.
Social
'Cause I
media.
love food.
Social media came in
Yeah, it
when
did.
you guys were,
Yeah.
that was tough because I saw what you guys were seeing on social, and it did bother me.
Well, and I'm not huge on social media.
You've never
I
been,
mean,
yeah.
I just haven't been. I have to ask the girls to help me with, posting something or whatever, because I just don't do it. But
That's so cute though.
because the other thing is, I'm private.
Is this your Instagram?
I do have Instagram,
Okay.
but
I never post. Do you?
I rarely post, and
Yeah.
I have to usually have help doing it.
I
But
just like looking at Sophie's.
That's what
You know
my
what?
mom does too.
preparing you, I think, by example, and I don't know that I consciously
thought that either, right?
It's
No.
funny because
No.
their generation, it is going to be different than when we
I
raise
know.
our kids. Like,
It's very true.
because our kids are going to grow up from day, the moment they have that phone in their hand, they're going to be seeing all these social media models and whatever.
I mean,
so
you just can't
it's gonna
control
have,
it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going to
you
have
can't.
to be a conscious effort. For,
Yeah,
when
exactly.
we-
Especially for us. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
Can we talk
moving
about
forward.
social media a little
Yeah,
bit?
of course you can.
Does it bother you when your mom uses her phone and she's like,
Oh,
With the one finger?
yeah.
Well, to be honest, I'll watch her do something and it's so slow. And I love you. I'm so sorry. It's so freaking
Yeah.
slow. I just go, give it to me. Give it to me. And I grab the phone and I just have to do it myself
And
because
then
I'm
I
like,
get
Jesus
irritated.
Christ.
And
It's like,
get
let
mad.
And then she
do
gets
it.
mad.
And I say, will you show me how to do something? And then I said, no, show me
No,
how to do it.
No, I show you.
And
You're
then you
just
wonder
slow.
why I have to ask again, because he didn't show me. You just
right.
did it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, let me do it. She's like, I can do it. And
I
she
lo-
texts with one thumb and
I
one
do
pointer.
not.
finger.
I do
Mom,
not.
you do
Yeah.
this.
My mom will do.
Yeah, you do. As they pull out your phone.
My mom has a ringer on for her text messages. And it's like, that's
wrong. Did
and
you
it
know
goes
that?
on and on and on. And
wrong?
I'm like, are you getting a call? No, she's not getting a call. It's to text.
That's a text. Well, I want to know when somebody texts me.
My phone would be going off all day.
I'd be like,
It could be
I keep
somebody
mine on do not
important.
disturb. I keep mine on do not disturb because I don't even want to hear it, know it, anything. No, but the one other funny thing you do is the Alexa, she'll be like, what do we want to listen to for dinner? I'm like, I don't know, make a decision. Well, I don't know what kind of vibes. I'm like, I don't know, Mom. She'll go, Alexa, play. And then she'll look at me with worried eyes. And I'm like, say something. She's like, dinner music. I'm like, Mom. I'm like, God, it's like Frank Sinatra. And I'm like, okay, all right.
No.
We're a weekend family. Like, we love The Weeknd. We love rap. We listen to
Yeah.
rap as a family. I'm not kidding. We love reality TV. We think it's hilarious, but we're very. It's funny because we're very like private though.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite
Well,
of
I
what
was
you
gonna
think.
say I'm jealous that you guys listen to rap at home because I got to be a little more careful. And also, did you hear that, Mom? They watch reality TV together.
Well, we used to back in the day.
like what?
Well, what was the show that?
I was gonna say Extreme Makeover we used to watch.
Fear Factor, or
no,
what were you gonna say?
No, where
What not to wear?
Explain it.
where you sing and you win the.
Oh, American Idol.
American Idol.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I'm like trying to
But
name all these shows.
I mean, like trashy reality TV.
Oh, I don't like those.
Yeah, I do with the girls. It's once in a while we
Yeah.
What's your
watch.
favorite?
Out of our, right now we're watching 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
So good. But we've
Day
watched
Fiancé.
every single season, every single episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Orange County, New York City, Jersey, New Jersey, like every single one.
Yeah.
We just love it. We'd be like 7 o'clock, all plop down on the couch, and we're like, popcorn. My dad joins too. Oh yeah. He loves reality TV.
I think it's really
He doesn't
funny
love it, but he loves it.
because when I do watch reality TV,
You're by yourself.
no,
I feel bad.
if I'm home, well, yeah, I'm by myself, but
Yeah.
I love being by myself. But if I'm home, I notice, like, especially Dad, he stands in the back and just, crosses his arm and like
Listens.
Just, like he's definitely watching it, but he's acting like he's not into it. But he's
Right.
like, he walks back into the room, like checks out the next scene.
So he really would like to watch
I'm like,
it.
are you judging me or are you actually just really into this?
Yeah, exactly.
To the Bachelorette right now, Dad.
Exactly. Oh God, that's like my favorite memories though. That's like the most fun. Besides that, in the lake, but that's the one thing that you gave me that I will never take for granted is living on a lake for a little bit growing up. Like that's my life, like
Yeah.
water sports. So I just was gonna say thank you to that because that's the reason why. But my mom hates the water. Hates the water.
But she did
I
it
like
for
being on it.
Yeah, like
She doesn't like to get
boat.
in it. She won't
But
get it. She
in
doesn't
it,
like in it.
I don't like not knowing
what's down there.
what's down there.
I don't either, but I have to point my toes and float until I get there. Like I'm like, pull the rope, and they're not going, and I'm laying in there in the water. I'm like, oh my God, if a fish nibbles my butt cheek right now,
Nibbles
I'm scared.
your- oh,
Oh
nibbles.
yeah, nibble. Oh nibbles. Oops, I did say nipple, didn't I? If he nibbled my nibble. Just kidding.
If he nibbled my nibble.
Sorry. Woo. Okay.
Woo.
Anyway, I have like one more question, and then we'll get into a few straight candid moments that people have sent in. Right?
Yeah, I might have one.
I
more,
was
too.
gonna say we each have one more. Is what I meant to say.
Yeah, you guys we haven't heard yours.
Well,
what?
Your
Our
straight candid moment for the week.
We let you guys do it.
We let you do it this
instead.
week. We let you take the
straight,
reins.
My straight canon moment was getting a little too competitive during my Easter egg hunt.
Whoopsie.
Okay.
My bad. My straight candid moment was that my mom, Jordan's mom, and myself all got food poisoning from the same thing. So yeah, so that was pretty.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that.
Not pretty.
So,
Poor
anyway,
Syd.
little fish taco. I really can't win lately. Anyway,
No, you can't.
Mom, what is the most important trait that you've given me that you want me to keep forever?
Humor, for one thing.
Yeah.
Which, when she was just a newborn, and I had my aunt come stay with me since my mom had passed, my aunt looked at her, held her, she was like days old, and said, this baby has a sense of humor, an adult sense of humor. I can tell. And she always has had, a sense of humor just beyond her age.
Yeah.
Which is so important throughout life, I think. And I just think just being a kind, caring person to everybody, which, you just carry that through. And yeah.
You've taught me how. You've taught me how. That's why I'm here.
Your sense of humor is my favorite.
People say I'm a wise or an old soul. That's what
I
people
was
always
just gonna
tell me.
say.
Yes, that's
I
the
was
other thing
just
she
gonna
said.
say. It was like you're an old soul.
She
That's
did
a
say,
lot of
yeah,
people
she's
tell
an
me,
old soul.
actually.
Mhm.
It's kind of weird.
She's 23.
I know.
24,
And
yeah.
she,
That's
she like
24.
she seems a lot more mature.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Well, you're catching up.
I'm mature, but in
Yeah.
a different way.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like there's people have different ways that they demonstrate
I agree.
maturity.
No, I
Yes.
totally agree.
Yep.
You are.
Yep.
We balance each other in a good way.
For sure.
Teach each other things.
Yeah. You guys, I mean, did you guys hear how it was hard at first when we started this podcast because we're so different, but that's like what we
Yeah.
figured out is what's making this
You have to push
actually
through it and get
Yeah.
to that point where you're like, okay.
Like Syd, we need Syd to kind of balance it out, and we need me to kind of balance it out, and it's great.
It works.
We work together,
And we finally like found the medium where we're like, oh,
this is
working.
Sense. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And the other big thing too is the independence.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if,
Just being
if I
your
was
own
going to
person.
answer that
Yeah.
question is, even though all these years it was frustrating for you to be voicing your opinions even when you were young, that is something that is really going to show you the way.
Yeah.
Because you are just,
Very opinionated.
She's very
Yep.
independent though.
well, you're
Your
not
own person.
opinionated. You're your own person.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
accept other people's
Yeah.
opinions, but you speak your mind. And that as a parent drove me crazy when you were younger, but you just persevered. You kept doing it.
Keep speaking your minds and bothering your moms.
Exactly.
That's right.
Amen.
Keep it up. Keep it
Amen,
up.
sister.
That's right.
So speaking of balancing out Syd's serious question, I have a question for you guys. Feel free to skip if you feel more comfortable. Also more awkward because I was going to ask this before my dad got in the room, but we're going to ask it anyways.
Oh,
Do you
perfect.
know when your kids lost their virginity?
Oh. I don't think you did in high school.
You're right. I did not.
Yep.
Good job, Mom.
Well, based on your late maturity, I knew you had.
My mom grabs her wine.
Well, we already know Syd had her wild phase a little earlier.
So I knew you weren't yet.
But is that, like, you never asked, like, do you talk, I don't know, like the sex talk? Did you bring that up before or after you thought that we all lost our virginity? Or, like, how did that conversation go? And did Grace or Garrett
Did
ever?
I have a conversation with you about sex? I don't remember.
I asked what it was.
Yeah.
Driving to gymnastics, I remember asking you.
I mean, when you went to get on the pill, I think we probably,
Talked about it then,
Talked
yeah.
about it then. And, I always used the excuse that you were doing it for your acne.
Oh, yeah.
But I was thinking, well,
There's always the acne or bad cramps.
Well,
Right,
mine
right,
was bad
right,
cramps
right.
though. Mine actually was
so,
bad cramps.
and hers was actually acne.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay.
So you didn't really have to have too much of a conversation about it.
Well, I think we had
Yeah.
small little chats here
Yeah,
and there.
yeah.
It was never one real sit down.
Yeah.
So
But now we're a little messed up because we talk about it a lot. And we shouldn't because that was...
I love that. God dang it.
do we want to move on to straight candid moments, or do you want to say anything?
Don't want to say. Did I know? Yes, I did.
we know these things.
Well, and both my girls have always been very open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
we
can't keep my
talked.
mouth shut.
We talked about things. They'd always ask me questions. Why is this? So yeah, I did know.
Yeah.
All right. This week we have 3 DMs or straight candid moments. We have 3 listeners that wrote in. 2 of them are stories, and we'll kind of have a little conversation around it. And the last one is advice that someone's asking for motherly advice.
All right, you kick it off. Read the first one.
I have them all 3 here.
Oh, you do?
Yep.
Oh, then just hand me your phone.
Okay.
Perfect.
So the first one is, when I was back in town on break from school, I didn't think much of meeting this guy at his parents' place before we went to dinner. He was staying at his parents' house while in town. And as we were about to leave, he's like, hey, is it cool if someone tags along with us? And I said, sure, why not? Thinking it was one of his friends. Little did I know it was his mother. First date, so awkward. We went and had dinner. She ordered for me and proceeded to criticize the college I was planning on attending because it was a party school, and also made her son sit next to her and not me. I got out of there as fast as I could and never spoke to him again.
What?
I would bet my house that this guy kissed his mother on the mouth regularly. hashtag deal breaker.
Lord,
Oh my God.
run fast.
Yeah.
Run very fast.
That mom is a hover mom.
You guys
That's
didn't-
not even hovering. That's I don't know what that is.
You guys
I
were
don't
in
even
there.
know either.
You guys did never do
Strange.
that.
No.
We appreciate that.
No.
But did we ever bring a guy home that you didn't like?
Ooh. You don't have to say who. We don't say names on here.
Yes.
Yeah? My mom?
How'd you deal with it?
I'm respectful.
Yeah.
We
it's
have
still-
our ways to kind of get our views across without actually
Right.
coming out and
Yeah.
saying,
I've noticed that.
what are you doing with that guy?
Can
We
you
can say other things.
Yeah, what do you say about me? I'll say something like, no, it's. You'll
No,
ask me
'cause
something, and
I'll be like,
very.
do you like this? I mean, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm like, okay, whatever that noise is, first of all, I don't know. It's so high in the air, I can barely hear it. It's the highest pitch. I'm like, okay, so no, you don't. I'm like, okay, that's annoying. Now you're lying. Well, no. No. I'm like, come on, answer it.
That's how we
straight
can
up.
tell the high pitch.
That's how I can tell.
Yeah, but I knew she'd figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to go through some of
You
those
gotta-
things.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Can you explain the man you didn't like that I brought home? We know
Give
it's
us a little
not Andrew.
hint. Give us a little hint.
Andrew's-
Mom, I want a hint too of who it was.
Yeah, give me some hint. Like, what was he wearing? What was his,
His
vibe?
athletic-
Why
his
didn't
ath-
you like him?
His athletic clothes.
Okay, keep going. Like, why didn't you?
I mean, he was pretty boy.
pretty boy. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that vibe.
That vibe.
Ugh. Who is
Yeah,
this?
I don't like that.
Who are you talking about? Give me like a what you didn't really like.
We're
Smothering.
forcing them.
Smothering. Oh, I know who it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I felt like I was choking and gonna die.
Yeah.
This would be a little
that's not
dramatic,
good
but I
thing.
started to
Nope.
panic. I'm not kidding. I started to panic, and I was like, "Oh God, get away from me!
Yeah.
Get away from me!"
I remember. So the pretty boy you're talking about. Were you allowed to sleep in the same room as if you guys slept over your parents' house?
Let's preface this by
yeah,
age.
but yeah, I was I was in college though.
Okay.
Or,
so
yeah.
the rule at our house is like if we have a boy, we're not allowed to sleep in the same room with them unless we're married
Yep.
because we're under their roof, which makes sense. So one time this pretty boy was sleeping over and he snuck into my room later in the night and we slept in my room, and then the next morning my dad goes up to pretty boy and he goes, "Did you sleep in Sophie's room last night?"
Uh-oh.
And this pretty boy shit his pants and never came back. No, I'm just kidding. He came back, but it was it was a
Oh my
funny
God.
story.
Good job, Dad.
I know who you're talking about.
yeah, we're not.
Oh man.
All
Okay,
right.
I got another one here. This is the second straight candid moment. So hashtag straight candid moment. It's the end of my period, so I'm wearing a liner pad. Anyways, I was walking to the bathroom and somehow the pad fucking fell off down my pants to the floor. My coworker yells, "Oh, you dropped something," bends down to pick it up and realizes it's my pad. I am mortified. What the actual hell she says. Love the pod. That's all she says. That's all she said. That's all she
Yeah.
said.
My
Her
pad, love
coworker
the pod.
literally went down
To pick it up.
to pick up her liner pad at work. Oh,
So you guys are lucky because this is our segue into menopause talk.
Oh God.
What? We're not old enough.
What you talking about?
what? The lie voice. You heard it there live.
I feel like we actually had a
We had a pretty decent question for this one. I'm like, wait a minute. We wrote like 4 because we were like, how do we ask this? How was the experience? Was it something that you actually dreaded and were afraid of, and was it actually that bad?
No.
No.
See, I already have heat flashes, so I feel like I already know
didn't
what
dread
it's like.
it. It wasn't.
I didn't even really think about it until
No.
I'm like, oh, I haven't had my period for a while. I think I might.
This is great.
This is great.
Oh, that's it? That's kind of all it was, right?
My
Yeah.
mom acts like it wasn't that bad, but I remember her in the car just shedding layers, putting layers back on, and like, it's so hot.
You did
in
have
here.
a lot of heat flashes, though, I
I mean,
remember.
that's not awful though. I mean,
No.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if the heat flashes are at night, it's not quite as bad, although
Right.
it keeps you up. But when you're at work and giving
Oh.
a presentation,
oh,
and then you
Yeah.
got to start taking off layers,
yeah.
that's not a good.
That's
That's not a good look.
It's not a good look.
No.
How does it change your sex drive? Or is your sex drive just change as you get older?
Yeah, that's a good
Well,
question.
I mean, it's one and the same. I mean, I think menopause affects your drive. Yeah.
Probably because
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
the
your
hormones.
Libido is lower.
So
for
how do you
sure.
balance that?
With what?
Having sex.
Have it less.
Oh my God, I love that. Quality over quantity.
My dad chimes in quality.
Quality over quantity. That's the
over
best thing I've ever heard.
It's all about quality.
I'm dead. Oh, no, I'm sweating.
That's for sure.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
That's great. See, now aren't you glad Dad came? Because that was great.
That was amazing. That was a perfect little chime in.
Yeah.
All right. Should we
That
say?
works.
Your mom has
Oh
something
yeah.
to
Are
say.
you, I didn't know if you were going to answer or not.
Well, so I'm single.
Ready to mingle?
Are you dating?
Yeah.
Completely single.
No, I'm completely single.
Yes. Last
Yeah.
time I saw you were dating someone, I remember.
Well, I have a friend long distance, but
Okay,
that
okay.
you know
Feel you.
don't
Yeah.
see him, so that doesn't
He kind of
really
annoys
work.
me.
But yeah. So
Got to get her downtown and get her out.
Yeah. Let's take her out.
yeah.
Cowboy Slims, maybe.
Woo!
All right.
Okay, she goes, all right.
Love it.
Okay, last final little bit, and then we have one question, then we're wrapping up, okay? This is we have an advice question. Do you have the actual
Yes.
message? Okay.
Hey, so I need some advice. My girlfriend of 7 years and I broke up about a month and a half ago, and she's already posting pictures of her with another guy. We had been dating since I was 15. I don't really know how to deal with this. Any advice on that would be amazing. Oh, I should also mention a little background, he says. She broke up with me, and this guy is someone she was friends with while we were dating and told me not to worry about it.
Oh.
So, what would you say to this little boy?
Yeah, what advice would you give him?
Because
He's
he's heartbroken.
Yeah,
and
he's heartbroken.
And he's seeing his old girlfriend post pictures with this new
Right.
guy.
Who is her friend?
How long have they been not together?
Like
They dated for 7 years, but I think this was about a month and a half ago.
Can you just unfollow her?
There you go.
There you go. That's a good
That's
advice.
a good piece of advice.
Yeah, because what you give attention is
And let
Gonna
make
bother
sure
you.
she
Yeah.
sees that he's unfollowing her.
Yeah.
She would notice.
Can you do that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
girls and guys can know how to do that.
So I would just make it sure.
Yeah.
that just
He
lacks
sees, yeah.
compassion
Yeah.
and respect, I think.
And I hate this quote, but the only way to get over someone is to get under someone else. Have you heard that? No. I wouldn't say you need to get under, but maybe you're also just, it's also his time to probably open up his doors a little bit and
Yeah, meet new
go on
people.
some dates. And I feel like once you meet someone else and you're, in love with someone else, like you might get over them a little faster, and also just to figure out who he is a little bit more and use this time to grow as a person, right?
Yeah, you start to retract, I think,
Yeah.
and you get like, I'm sad. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And you literally, all you have
do
to do
the
is push
opposite of what you
over
should
it.
be
Yeah,
doing.
you have
Yeah.
to push over that hump and go forward.
There's that social media you have to put up with.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
There it is
that
again.
posting. If
I
you
know.
didn't have that,
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't even know.
He'd
He
be
wouldn't see it.
oblivious.
Yeah, I know. And he'd be able to move on. He probably wouldn't have been
He
as
needs to
sensitive to
unfollow
it
her. Yeah.
if that added
Yeah.
a whole
Yeah.
nother level.
And
Yeah.
if for some reason you don't want to unfollow her because it's going to be petty, you could just mute her.
Yeah, I
which
would
you
say
can also
mute.
do.
Oh no, I'd let her know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Let her
yeah.
know.
Following
Listen
you.
up. Yeah. And I always say if someone's doing something that you wouldn't do or you don't approve of, then that's not somebody you'd ever want to spend your time any further
Yeah,
with.
right.
That's really what I always
Yeah,
think about.
I mean, in fact, it
You have to keep telling
reinforces
yourself
maybe
that.
they shouldn't be together. 'Cause
Exactly.
That's the kind of person she is.
And it's
Yeah.
going to hurt because you have memories, but that doesn't mean that there's not a future for you.
Yeah.
You're one, like, what would it be? 6th through your life. Like, just, it's time to move on. New chapter. Our final question for you guys, because this has been so freaking fun. I'm like, oh, God. I love it. I love our moms are here.
I think we should start our own
Maybe we
mom's
should-
podcast.
Oh, yes.
Cute.
They could call in, ask questions.
Absolutely.
Straight
guys-
Candid senior.
You could be.
Yes.
Wait, I meant like
Let's not say junior, senior yet. We're not seniors
We're
yet.
not senior.
That doesn't work. I more meant like we are the junior, they're the senior, but now I'm like, oh, senior citizens.
Yeah.
No, actually, I didn't mean that.
You could
Didn't
call
mean
it.
that.
You could call it Momcast.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or mom
Very
Candid.
cute. Mom Candid.
You'd have to hire the back pocket production to
Yes.
do all
Yeah.
the chords and the
Yes.
crazy stuff
And the
for you
crazy
guys.
things all around us. Okay, before you start your new podcast, then and throw us under the bus.
Okay.
All of our listeners are your daughters at this point, okay?
Okay.
Because you're here and you're being their mom figure, you know?
Or their son.
Or their son. Sorry, I said
Yep,
daughters
yep.
too. But what is one piece of advice that you would give to them? Maybe that's your biggest learning that you know now, but one piece of advice.
Can I give a couple?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you can. Doesn't have to be one. Are you kidding me? We're not going to
we'd
limit.
like to give more than one.
Yeah, right.
I think you have to have know in your head what your boundaries are with someone, you know, if you're dating them, you know, what's okay and what's not, you know, in any sense, not just sex, but in morals and, you know, everything. And no one's perfect, but don't settle.
I love that.
I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about relationships?
Relationships.
Anything.
Or you
Okay.
don't even
Anything.
have to marry someone. You can just,
No.
yeah.
Yeah. So be who you are, whether it's a job or a relationship. You know, don't, you know, change, you know,
Who you really want to be. Yeah.
who you want to be or who you are.
Yeah.
Embrace your imperfections. Be with somebody that
Is okay
embraces
with
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry you don't have two moms like us, but I just had to get that in there.
Sorry. You had to get that in there, she says.
But we'll be available when we start our
Start our podcast. Mom Candid.
Oh my God. Cute.
Episode 1 coming soon.
Yes.
Coming soon. I love that
Near
they
you.
sell it on ours. Way to use our platform. I love it. You guys know social media better than you think.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Using our platform.
You're doing
in,
well.
in all seriousness, if you guys have a question that you want to ask a mother figure, I will pass it along. And I know Sophie will do the same. But for real, if you don't have a mother figure and you need something answered, you can look to us and look to our moms too. So we really,
Yeah.
we love you too.
Love it.
This has been so freaking fun.
I was
What?
laughing at that last part because
It was so us. It was us.
it was us, and I was watching it.
Oh, it was creepy.
Because
We were like, that's why we were laughing because we were like, oh my
Because-
God.
Susan starts talking, and like you're finishing her sentence.
That's what we do. I'll be like, and then yes, and
Yeah,
you,
yep.
and then you want to do that,
And
and
then
then
my mom's just
yes, your
yeah,
mom,
right here.
yeah. We loved having you. We needed this. It's
was
like a
fun,
good
yeah.
balance in all the episodes that we're doing. We wanted you guys here. You guys at Straight Candid Podcast is our Instagram. Please follow us. Please rate and review if you can.
Yes.
That's really important for our growth. Really, really important to keep us going and keep us doing things. So please, if you have time, take a second. It takes 30 seconds, if that.
And if you haven't yet, you can also subscribe on YouTube. I'm not sure everyone knows we have a YouTube channel, but that also helps us. Feel free to watch episodes as well as
Yeah,
listen.
you can see us. We dress up for
Yeah,
you. We do our makeup.
And you can see our mom's shoes. Let's see it one more time. Okay. Yep. Looking
God,
good.
they look good.
And the last thing we want to say is we're produced by At the Back Pocket production company, which is at
The Boys.
Back Pocket Podcast on Instagram. So,
You guys, thank you for listening.
Oh, it
Thank
was
you.
Thank
fun.
you for riding along.
It was lots of fun.
Very fun.
Listeners, we love you. You guys are amazing. Keep it candid.
talk soon. Bye.
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 Yay.